In recent years, digital platforms such as Amazon, Facebook, or Google have increasingly gained the attention of competition authorities due to their ability to collect large amounts of data. Indeed, it is feared that these platforms may engage in anti-competitive practices that could reduce innovation and consumer welfare. For instance, by collecting, aggregating, and analyzing large amounts of data, platforms can improve product quality in ways that firms with restricted access to data cannot, and exploit the data knowledge they dispose of to expand their services to new markets to the detriment of newcomers. An example of this is Amazon evolving from an online marketplace to a physical one through the acquisition of Whole Foods Market, or a producer of films and TV series with the creation of Amazon Prime Video, or Google first providing the Android operating system for mobile phones and then entering the market for smartphone production. And finally, Facebook expanding its business to financial services and cryptocurrencies, where information about people's preferences is important for providing high quality and well-tailored services to individuals. Now, the conduct of digital platforms is not necessarily anti-competitive. Market power that is gained through an efficient competitive process implies efficiency in the production process and high quality products and services. There are, however, some instances in which platforms' conduct can be found to be in breach of competition rules. An example of anti-competitive conduct is self-preferencing, which involves actions by an undertaking which are designed to favour its own products or services over those of its competitors. The landmark case on self-preferencing is the Google shopping case, in which the European Commission imposed on Google a fine of over $2 billion for abusing its dominance as an internet search engine by favouring its comparison shopping service. Indeed, Google had designed the result page of its internet search engine, Google Search, in a way that favoured its own comparison shopping service, Google Shopping, while placing rival comparison shopping service website at a competitive disadvantage. According to the Commission, Google's self-preferencing had led to a reduction in traffic from Google Search to competing comparison shopping services. This caused traffic and market shares of competing search websites to decline, potentially reducing their and also Google's incentive to innovate and reducing the ability of consumers to access the best performing comparison shopping services. The decision was groundbreaking insofar as it established for the first time that self-preferencing can be a freestanding abuse of dominance in breach of Article 102 of the TFEU. In fact, the Commission took the view that it was not required to demonstrate that Google's self-preferencing amounted to a refusal to deal as defined in the Brunner case, and in particular to show that Google's search result page constituted an essential facility for competing comparison shopping services to be able to operate effectively. Google appealed the Commission's decision, which was reviewed by the General Court in November 2021. In its judgment, the Court first reminded of the openness of Article 102, which provides an unexhaustive list of examples of abusive practices, so that the mere fact that the provision does not explicitly refer to self-preferencing cannot preclude the Commission from characterizing such conduct as a standalone abuse of Article 102. Then the Court supported the Commission's view that self-preferencing is a freestanding abuse of dominance, meaning that self-preferencing is abusing even if access to the platform in which it occurs is not indispensable for rivals active on an adjacent, upstream or downstream market, and even if the self-preferencing does not eliminate all competition on the adjacent market. Finally, the Court endorsed the Commission's theory of harm and supported its finding that Google's self-preferencing violated Article 102 of the TFEU. So essentially, since the Google shopping case, it has now been established that, as a matter of principle, unilateral conduct whereby a vertically integrated dominant platforms gives greater visibility to its own product or service relative competing products or services and downgrades their foundability may amount to a standalone breach of Article 102 of the TFEU. However, critics point to the fact that, in its judgment, the General Court failed to set out a clear legal test to establish which elements must be fulfilled for self-preferencing to qualify as an abuse of dominance. Greater clarity on this matter has now been provided by the Digital Markets Act, which establishes a new ex-ante regulatory framework for powerful gatekeeper platforms and establishes a per se prohibition of self-preferencing in ranking. Other developments on this issue may also derive from the investigations that the Commission has recently opened against Amazon and Facebook.